Meantime, we're talking to Richard Hume, who's planning, if you like, if you don't mind, to row across the Atlantic naked. We've absolutely got the drift of the why in terms of raising money for a charity supporting looking into ataxia, a neurological condition that's struck down a friend of Richard and his partner. Let's get on to the how, Richard, because it's like I was saying, you know, it's not the kind of thing you get out of bed first thing in the morning and decide to do.
You'd be surprised. It's pretty much on the mind 24 hours a day.
Really?
But I agree, yeah. No, it's the how. It's a 23-foot rowing boat. It's completely self-contained. You've got all your food on board. We have to consume about 8,000 calories a day, which is, you'd think it'd be quite easy to eat 5, 6, 7 chocolate bars in a day on top of all the other food, but actually after the day it gets pretty boring. You've got a water maker that changes salt water to kind of less salty water. You've
but
got
not to salt-free water.
Well, they say it's salt-free water, but I should think it will still taste pretty rough.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got all your electrics that are done by solar panels. That's just GPS, your VHF radio, and that's all subject to there being sunshine. If you have 4 or 5 days of no sunshine, then things become a bit of an issue. And on top of that, we've actually put a music system on there as well, because boredom's going to be a big thing for us.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what Tom's taste of music is, but mine's pretty dire, so I'll be in heaven for quite a long time. But,
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
Although, if maybe it's best not to know what each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you say boredom might be a problem, but someone else's musical taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuck on
sure.
you.
I know. I get a lot of sick of mine, so I'm sure.
How long is it going to take, Richard?
Yeah, we're planning about 60 days. We leave on December the 6th, and our target is to be in a bar in English Harbour in Antigua, watching the England-Wales rugby match, which I think is the 6th of February. Okay. So that's our kind of baseline target. We're not particularly competitive people, but we're both pretty fit guys. So yeah. I think if we go out, we're not going out to win it. But if we go out and sort of 2 weeks before the end, we're in a chance, I think we'll then push it along. Yeah. So it's going to be between 50 or 60 days. If the weather goes against us, maybe 60 to 70.
So when you say win it, so you're part of... Sorry, I may have got...
Oh, sorry, no, it's actually a proper race.
Ah, so gotcha. I'm really sorry. I thought it was one of these kind of, we're just going off to do this, but you're actually competing against...
Yeah,
you're not competing against people who've done it before, are you?
There might be one or two, but generally it's kind of once you've done it, you don't do it again. Which probably
unless you're really
says something about it,
yeah.
And there's going to be about 25 other boats out there.
Wow.
Or some solos, some pairs, some fours. We're obviously in the pairs category. And we're all meeting La Gomera, which is just off Tenerife for the 2 weeks prior to the race, and then basically spend the whole time trying to get as fast as we can, and then we sort of head off, and we'll probably all be together for the first hour or so, and then it just gets, you can have boats 1,500 miles apart from each other.
Yeah.
The distance is just staggering. And then we just all head for English Harbour in Antigua.
Do you, I mean, you say 1,500 miles apart, hoping from your point of view that doesn't mean people are 1,500 miles ahead of you.
Yeah.
Presumably that means that people can take slightly different routes.
Yeah, I think we won't actually find out till we get to La Gomera, but as I understand it, you have to stay on a certain course for the first 100 miles, and then they say, right guys and girls, you can do whatever you want, and then we've got our end point. Purely because the winds are very different, whether you go slightly north, slightly south, etc., etc. So you have to try and work out your best route. It's not all about heading south to hit the sunshine and then just drifting across. Yeah. And there is a certain amount of science to it, I guess. Yeah.
And what about the training? I mean, did you row here today?
Didn't row here today. But the training's pretty tough. We've done certainly 5 or 6 3-hour sessions on rowing machines, and we're hitting the river again tomorrow. And then once the boat's fully refurbished, because we've actually bought a second-hand boat, which will be the beginning of August, we'll be out in the ocean as much as we can. From my point of view, I've done a lot of long-distance triathlons before, so mentally I think I know roughly what's going on. But it's just a matter of putting weight on, really. I mean, if you enjoy your food, just doing one of these is fantastic. Yeah. Because you put it all on and you're going to lose it all without even trying.
No, absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. And is the whole race taking place naked, or this is just your particular...
The whole naked thing. It's not just us, otherwise that would seem a bit strange, 2 guys in a boat butt naked.
No, it's kind of adventurous. It's not as if people are going to be looking out their bedroom windows through the lace curtains.
No, What it is that when the salt water goes in your skin and then the water evaporates, you're then left with the salt, and what then happens is that you're then left with sort of sandpaper effectively on your skin. So anything in contact with your skin starts rubbing. So the idea is that if you go butt naked, then there's nothing to rub on anything apart from your bum on the seat.
Yeah, well, you say apart from, as I say, this may be, you know, people starting to think about maybe getting some dinner and stuff. I would have thought that's absolutely the worst one, you know. That's
you get pretty sore bum, you get a pretty sore hands and pretty sore feet. For me personally, because it's great thing on the radio because people can't see that I'm ginger with albino skin. But basically, I'm burning in here right now. So when it comes to La Gomera, I mean, I'm working on my base tan, which is a bit of a joke in itself, and then it's just masses of sun cream, and I will probably have to start wearing t-shirts and things like that because I will just burn. I mean, my torso hasn't seen sunshine since the day I was born. Yeah. So that is something of an issue. But we're working on that as well.
And how ready are you? I mean, well, I suppose now to December you've got plenty of time to get ready. Mind you,
you'd be surprised how quickly it goes.
Yeah, but also it gives you plenty of time to have second thoughts. I suppose. Although I guess you're in it now. Once people have kind of committed, are you still feeling like still in the full flush of the excitement of having decided to do this, or is this starting to feel like something very serious in your life indeed?
There's no doubt that it's serious. I mean, you know, this is. I joke that, you know, you get run over by a London bus tomorrow, but actually this is, you know, quite serious what we were trying to do. In a boat that's not much higher than a foot off the, you know, the edges and higher than a foot off the waterline, we could have 80-foot waves crashing over us. So it is serious, but the excitement just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and I just want to get out there now. Yeah. We've sworn to ourselves that we will be at the start line, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to give us our best possible shots.
Just finally, I was going to say, I mean, obviously people would have heard this now. If people want to kind of get behind you, Richard, how do they go about?
Well, we've got a website which is www.rowingtheatlantic.com, which is nice, straight and forward and easy. And there's a Just Giving site on there, which means people can give donations of any amount, you know, if they'd like to. On top of that, we've also got all our different sponsorship categories. We've got a platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, so people can come in at different levels. Each one offers a different package. We're very lucky that we've got a few television programs following us, so we've got a great worldwide audience following us. And so the website says rowingtheatlantic.com is the best way to do it. And just keeping an eye out for us. I mean, we're doing lots of village fairs, going back to my old school. Lots of training out on the water. I mean, rowing boats, ocean rowing boats are not that unusual, but they're unusual if you don't know what they look like. And it's literally like, God, there's two guys in a bathtub out there. What are they doing? and that's literally how it is. So
www.rowingtheatlantic.com. Richard, thanks. Really, thanks
for
coming into 94.9 this afternoon. I know you've parked the boat up outside BBC London and head off to the evening training session, I'm sure. No, really best of luck. I'm sure we'll speak again, actually.
I'd be delighted to come back.
Before you actually head off. But thanks for joining us on 94.9 this afternoon. That's Richard Hume, who, along with a mate, rowing the Atlantic, butt naked, as he says. Although, the old ginger aspect may kind of come into play at some point. It's going to be a weird balance, because you want the sunshine for the solar panels to make everything work on the boat. On the other hand, every day of sunshine is another day of agony for the ginger on board. But we'll find out how they get on. Thanks to Richard for joining us on 94.9 this afternoon. Now, I don't know quite how you follow that, so we'll just have a bash.